Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, naggers, of course. Naggers. Right.
Can we cut to a...
Everybody just stay calm. I can handle this, no problem. I know how to deal.
License and registration, please.
What seems to be the officer problem?
Said, hear he. It's the honorable op judge. You know why the fuck we here. He fucked up last week. Fucked up. But still gonna keep it cool. But they got some explaining to do. We gonna let them explain their shit. Cause op judge sent the niggas to jail. Real quick. Happy Black History Month though. Don't scroll them, touch it. I forgot my gavel, I'll be back.
That's the sound of the man working on the chain. That's the sound of the man working on the chain.
For the record, I prefer the ones that my brother were out.
All day long I'm singing.
Who? No. Poor Lazarus. No? I don't think they learned anything.
I don't think they learned shit either.
He didn't tell us to sit. Fuck.
I thought it was all rise, be seated, whatever the fuck. It's been a while.
All rise for the honorable op judge. Sit your bitch asses down.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Fuck it.
Fuck it, we'll do it
live.
live. Should we have a lawyer present for this, Judge?
He not allowed. Y'all fucked up already.
Fuck. I mean, I definitely might be Jewish, but I am not qualified to represent myself.
Tonight on Stumbling Down History Road, we're going to be talking about MLK.
Milk?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, Martin Luther King Jr. I thought you were, like, abbreviating things like the kids do these days.
Isn't Milk the gay senator or something that got assassinated?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think John Kerry did a movie with him, about him.
So,
Hey,
Martin
remember, we talking about milk here. That hard R was about that milkman. Going right to jail, buddy.
No,
Right to jail, buddy.
no, the milkman. I love the milkman.
Just say it.
I mean,
MLK Day.
the milkman might be my daddy.
the milkman cometh.
The milkman was the
Oh,
Klondike
the
daddy.
milkman cometh.
The milkman was the Klondike's daddy.
All right, so Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King, actually known as Martin Luther King, but he was born Michael King.
Correct.
That is correct.
So he is basically like the most prominent civil rights leader of the
Of the civil
1900s. The 20th century, if not the 21st century as well.
Pretty much, yeah.
You can say he's the Don Corleone of the civil rights movement. Probably, right?
What?
What?
Don Corleone.
The Don Corleone of
No, I get the whatever.
The Dawn.
the Don, you know?
The Dawn.
But because you said what? So it was either I repeat it or, I don't know. What else do I say? You said what?
But
Bloody hell, this shit's fucking tight.
yes, it's a prison getup. It's not supposed to be comfortable.
Yeah, well, you've been pumping iron in the prison yard. Let's go.
He is
How them
really
chains
off camera.
feeling?
Yeah, we got no op judge.
Op judge is on deck.
I didn't know that we
Could've
were going to
pulled him
have.
in a little bit closer.
I didn't know that we were going to have Judge Thurgood Marshall here.
I don't
Op
like the
judges in
judge
the
this
building.
close to me. I feel like I'm going to get hit.
You probably deserve it.
That's better. Should have just went like, whoa.
Whoa.
So, Martin Luther King.
So,
basically the...
Marty Luther King Jr.
basically the most prominent civil rights leader, as stated. He is the son of Martin Luther King. His father was a pastor.
A pasture or a pastor? Because if he was a pasture, then he'd be filled with grass and there'd be fucking cows roaming all over him.
How do you know he wasn't filled with grass, but the type that you guys enjoy?
He probably was. He probably was. But he still wouldn't have been a pastor.
Shit, Judge enjoying the grass right now.
Yeah. See? So, but he was a pastor who might have,
He might have owned a pasture.
he might have preached in the pasture.
Yeah.
The pastor preaching in the pasture.
Well, he didn't actually get his start in being a pastor until he had married into it, because it wasn't actually his church. It was his wife's father's church.
So at first he was just a meadow?
Yes. At first, he was just a farm.
Old MacDonald had a farm?
There's a joke. I'm trying to remember a reference, but it's losing me.
It'll come back to you. Smoke a little more weed. That usually helps.
We got this guy in the background. Shit.
What's the joke? I'm just
I'm just a kid.
Judge coughing.
Yeah,
I'm just a
yeah.
butcher
See,
shop?
we gotta get the
no.
op
I'm
judge
just
high.
If we get,
I'm doing a Pulp Fiction reference. I'm just a coffee shop.
if we
Ah.
get, if we get him to like what we say about this, he might let us up.
Dead storage? Is there a sign on my house that says storage?
But Martin Luther King, he really came into notoriety through the Montgomery bus riots and the Montgomery bus protests shortly after Rosa Parks.
Yeah. So that's pretty much where he kind of was like, all right.
Well, he
So
went to school.
Yeah,
he was going to school to be a lawyer.
A very, very, very
Studious.
intelligent person. He was. He skipped 9th grade. He skipped 12th grade, and then he fucking.
Contrary to popular belief.
He was actually a doctor. Oh, that contrary to popular belief. God damn, you should fucking gavel the shit out of that statement.
Nope,
That-
he missed it.
That was undertones, racial undertones that we cannot tolerate in this country.
Definitely missed it.
See?
Oh man, see, we got him high.
Get away free.
We got the fucking op judge high, and
But, yeah, contrary to popular belief, he actually wasn't a doctor. He never had a doctorate. He had an honorary doctorate, but he was incredibly smart. He went to school to be a lawyer. He ended up pursuing the life of the cloth, I believe is a way of phrasing it. He ended up being
dagger.
a
Wait,
Preacher?
Are you saying that Martin Luther
was a
King was
preacher.
an assassin?
He was.
He
ki-
said, "Op judge said it, not me."
what? I just didn't say that.
You said cloak and dagger.
No,
took
he
on-
said cloak and
He
dagger.
took on civil rights haters.
So we're saying that MLK was an assassin.
Well, he was definitely assassinated.
He definitely was, and he almost, and he was there was an
FBI
attempt-
fucking did him dirty.
and there was an attempted assassination.
Wait. So
On his
does
life
that mean
as well.
the Jim Crow laws are the Templars?
Yes,
What is the matter with you? What?
he's just trying to tie in
Reference.
the reference. He's just kind of tying the reference. Otherwise, the reference doesn't make any sense, right?
Fucking we stumbled. But-
Niggas is going to jail.
Nah, man.
I don't know. I think the implication that, Martin
Just
Luther
because of
King
the
being an
implication?
assassin from the Assassin's Creed is pretty cool. How's that jailworthy?
Just because of the implications.
You're saying that a black guy's a killer.
Fuck!
First of all, last week you barely knew anything about black exploitation films, and then now the
We don't know
reference.
We don't know shit about Martin Luther King.
I know that he was assassinated by the FBI. Fucking
Alleged.
J. Edgar Hoover.
Allegedly.
J. Edgar Hoover.
They sent him a letter saying that he should kill himself.
Allegedly.
Yes. No. There was
No, no,
actually.
obviously-
I
yeah.
know. I'm
I think they're trying to say like, oh, you're secret
Yeah,
homosexual,
yeah.
kill yourself.
They wanted him to step. No, it wasn't that he was a homosexual. So
I thought it was.
no, it was actually on radio as well for all of like a week, and then it just quickly died out because it didn't do anything to his reputation. But it was that he was a womanizer and was having an affair with his wife, or multiple affairs with his wife, and his
You
wife
have
was
an affair with your wife. You mean on your wife,
Well,
you
yeah.
Kimber.
that's the one.
as you can tell, single. But
It's a colloquially
You ready
used
to
term.
mingle?
I'ma stab you.
Ready to mingle?
Can I stab him?
Don't see how
I'ma
this-
stab him.
Why?
Fun fact:
Why is he using a banana?
In court.
That's the racist.
You know why there's a banana here.
Martin Luther
stabbed him
King
with a
was
banana.
Martin Luther King was almost killed by he was stabbed while he was in a book while he was doing a book signing in Harlem.
So
He got-
was the Pope.
But we're not talking about the Pope,
Well, not this Pope, but a couple popes ago.
but I'm pretty sure we're talking about Martin Luther King. Because then
Judge, you want some of a banana?
We can go down the list of all the people that were stabbed. A bunch of people in Hempstead were stabbed.
Hear he.
What? What did we do
I
wrong?
just realized you motherfuckers owe me shots from last week. At least 3 each.
Shots.
Shots.
I'll give you a weed.
You go ahead and take your pulls. You can take
I
your
don't
pulls.
actually have any liquor on me this time.
But you owe 3.
I'll take some hits. I'll take some hits.
Yeah, we know you don't
You could,
drink.
you could have some banana. Judge, you want some banana?
That sounds really, really homosexual.
Really racist and homosexual.
I don't have a cup on here.
Remember,
Take a pull.
the new trend in jails is booty butter and saltine crackers. Remember that.
I'm
What?
sorry, what?
Yeah, just remember. The new trend in jail is booty butter and saltine crackers.
Booty butter and saltine crackers. Is that exactly what it sounds like? Where they fucking...
A pull does not mean finish.
You guys fit the description. You guys fit the description.
You calling us crackers?
They're ready for you in there. They're ready for you.
I like half a shot. What is that again?
Monkey shoulder.
That's racist.
That's the name. Not sponsored.
Oh, you don't know from me hits when I give you hits. I see
Oh,
what it is.
yeah.
Well,
I was
sure.
taken by hits.
But does
anybody on
does
this
that
panel
account for it?
Anybody on this panel really know anything about Martin Luther King?
Yeah, he was assassinated by the FBI. J. Edgar Hoover set his ass up.
Or possibly
Jay-
the CIA.
Edgar Hoover, who was the head of the CIA.
No,
probably
he was
said-
FBI.
He was it?
He was
FBI.
FBI. Yeah. No,
He was like the leading cause of the Red Scare. He was influential in getting as many people incarcerated that he was not a political fan of as possible
And a
under
drag
the Red
queen.
Scare.
supposedly drag queen or
Allegedly.
crossdresser.
But
There's a whole thing about that.
he went under. So Martin Luther King had a helper. His last name was Levinson. I don't remember his first name. I think it was Tom.
Everstein.
And he was affiliated with the Communist Party of America in the 1500s.
So basically,
Wait, how long?
Sorry, 1950s.
What?
In the 1500s, Karl Marx wasn't even born. Karl Marx got it from him.
I was gonna say, motherfucker's a time traveler. Or immortal or some shit.
Martin Luther King was that nigga.
Fucking. His name was something Witz again? Fucking Hitler's greatest fear, an immortal Jew. Actually, wait, technically there is one of those. You ever hear the old myth? The Wandering Jew?
Jesus?
No,
Wander-
it's
the Wandering Jew, that's a plant.
Jesus was Jewish.
well, no, it's this he was technically, I want to say, cursed by Jesus to wander the earth eternally until his return.
Does he return every fucking Easter?
No, that's not how it works.
Kinda, that's why he had to hide the eggs.
I thought that was because of a giant chicken.
What the fuck is up with Easter and the eggs? What do eggs have to do with Jesus?
Ishtar. Do your research.
Is
Oh,
Ishtar the Jew?
No.
Ishtar has a lot to do with Easter, the eggs, and all that shit.
Well, yeah, I know that. I know the joke.
MLK would not be proud of
It all goes back to paganism.
He was a preacher. He would not be proud of us right now.
for stumbling.
Yeah, he was very well known for all of the speeches that he gave. He got locked up numerous times. He wrote books while he was in prison. He wrote different letters. I mean, he made himself effectively a political enemy, but he was very practiced. He was very much of the Gandhiism of having no nonviolence. So it was basically just resisting without violence. So he would be opposed to things. They would just sit down if they were told to move, things like that. And he was really not like diametrically opposed to Malcolm X, but like a little bit.
That was his evil twin.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, because Malcolm X definitely was like, the devil on the shoulder that's like go out there.
Well, he
and-
wouldn't incite violence, but he
No,
definitely
but
wouldn't.
He didn't really. He wasn't the one going out and
Malcolm
actually.
X is why we have so much gun control, at least in California.
But yeah, Malcolm X wasn't physically going out and causing the destruction, but he was basically saying it. Just that's like
Well,
for the most part.
I was saying that in reference to the fact that like he wasn't going out and saying burn down all the fucking white businesses. He was going
No,
down.
but
He
he
was like,
was-
if they fuck with you, fuck with them back.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
I'm
so
all
he was
kill
basically
whitey.
a provocateur. He was inciting it by saying.
Wait, so I'm more extreme than Malcolm X? I am pro-white genocide.
What?
I think we should get rid of all the white people.
Do you think that we should just get rid of all of the peoples?
Oh, I mean, all the peoples would be better. Yeah, all of the peoples, but
But that
I
would
think we would fix.
up to and including you, or up to
Yeah,
and
fine.
stopping at you,
No, me too.
because then we just
Hashtag.
end the whole world.
Well, all the peoples. We could keep around the animals, the plants,
Yeah, but I mean,
not the peoples. Again,
Yeah.
what part of misanthrope do you guys not understand?
no, I understand, but I'm saying like, then you wouldn't. There would be no, you know, you would
Yeah,
just
it's better. The world
Better.
would be much better without peoples.
Agreed.
See, he gets it. But we start with the white people first, because they're the worst people.
So in this situation, the white people are what the black people in horror movies,
More or less, yes.
right? It seems about right.
I guess. I don't know.
So we are the
I-
token white people.
I don't quite understand what's going on here and how we got to this, but
Just kind of letting it out there.
This is not my house.
this is not my beautiful wife.
How did I get here?
And the days go by.
Water flowing under.
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
Bum bum. The criminal justice system.
In the criminal justice system, there are
Well,
two
that's
people.
that's one of the things that he was diametrically one of the things that Martin Luther King was helping to try and get fixed. I mean, realistically, there was the Jim Crow laws, there was all of these separate but equal segregation bullshits. I mean, they were able to vote, but like they weren't still people. They were all sorts of fucking shit. Like people were still getting fucking lynched. It's that type of shit that
Same shit.
it's that type of shit that he was trying to solve and
is bubble
stop.
hash.
Almost
just-
the same shit.
Almost.
He marched on Washington. He would march on different.
Like Puerto Ricans
Capitals,
and
he would-
Mexicans. They're kind of the same shit.
They would have different protests. It was really kind of like
One can swim, one can jump the border.
I don't know what just happened there, but something about swimming and jumping a border.
We're comparing hash to
Hashes to hashes.
Keef.
Gotcha.
Hashes to hashes and Mexicans to Puerto Ricans.
That is like the apples and pears comparison.
So, are you guys of the proprietary that MLK was killed by the FBI?
Oh, he's definitely murdered.
He was
it
definitely.
obvious.
Oh, he was definitely assassinated. I
So-
mean, very clearly.
So, if you guys go back to, so he was, there was an attempted assassination on his life that failed. He was stabbed
37 times in the chest.
one time in the chest by a 7.
Carl, that kills people, Carl.
Carl. Oh, Carl.
I mean,
what's it? Is that's the where he's like, yeah. Well, I'm an undercover FBI agent. Yeah,
No.
well, I'm a. Isn't
No,
that
that's
the-
llamas
No.
with hats. We're doing.
Yep.
which one?
Llamas with hats.
That's the Carl one.
Yeah.
What's the one where it's the two fishes, and they're like underneath the water, and they're like
Well,
they keep being disguised.
I
They keep
was-
pulling off their disguise.
I was trying to talk about James Earl Ray and how he was set up.
That's right. Didn't like the MLK family go and get the guy who killed him off because they thought he was innocent?
No, so they went to. So they went to his cell, to talk to him. I don't know why. Couldn't tell you why. But this was like 20 years after he was incarcerated. They end up going to his cell, and his story is allegedly so convincing that they forced the courts to reopen it because he was saying that he was hired by... Good there, bud? They were saying that he was hired by a local bar tavern. They were saying that he was framed and it was his buddy... I think the name was Virgil? It was a Mexican buddy, a Puerto Rican buddy, somewhere. They said Latin buddy. But every time he went to go and testify as to a description, they would change how he looked. But it was so convincing of I was set up, I was framed. It wasn't me. I was all the way on the other side of town that, like, they were willing to open up the case and investigate it.
So, I mean, like...
Then in the 90s, somebody actually, a local restaurant across the street actually was willing to go to court, go on radio, go on record, and be like, I was fucking hired to kill MLK. It was me. I did it for the mafia. And that triggered a whole new fucking thing. And then, the CIA, FBI,
I mean, but is it really outside of the scope of possibility that this guy is actually was 100% set up and that it was a frame job? I mean,
no, I'm not opposed. I believe that the FBI killed him.
Because like just how many lower profile cases were solved just completely erroneously by just fabricating evidence and all that shit, just because that's what they needed to do.
Yeah,
that's what
I'm
they
saying.
wanted to do, and there was no...
With such a high-profile case, like...
No, but I'm saying with such a high-profile case, because I'm saying with it happening with lower-profile cases, obviously it's going to happen with the high-profile. They want to close it. Like there's an unrest. Like the leader of the civil rights movement was just killed, and it's going to cause
the king, Martin Luther, the king.
Yeah, so that's going to cause some uproar. So they have to fucking put an end to it, and the first one that's a possibility, they're like, yeah, throw the book at that guy. He's the one. But the one thing is, like, all right, so I don't know if you guys know the story on September 20th, 1958. Martin Luther King, he was stabbed by Azola Ware Curry, right? He was in a bookstore in Harlem.
Right, say that again.
So
Azola Ware Curry.
Azola, Izola, Ware Curry.
That's what I said.
Where?
Where?
Curry.
Where in the chest? That's where. Right in the chest.
Right next to Curry.
Right next to the curry. If he would have had some curry, it would have saved him. No, but so she stabs him with a 7-inch.
Oh, it was a she.
Yeah, she stabs him with a 7-inch.
I'll show you 7 inches.
Yeah, it's
About that big.
Probably on the judge.
About that big.
Definitely not on me. Maybe on D too.
Maybe you got a point.
So.
You ever see the eyeball 6 inches thing going around?
Yeah, that's a current trend on like TikTok and
You
YouTube
get
and things.
You get like a
You
little
gotta-
tape measure. You go eyeball out about 6 inches.
Oh yeah. Yep. They do
Turns
that-
out men are real good at that.
Yeah. They do that.
Wonder why.
They've been doing that a lot. They do that with basketball players. They'll be like, show me how big a basketball is, and they have them like put their.
Yeah.
They do that with
A
football
barbershop.
players.
Show me about 2 inches.
Yeah. So anyway, so this lady stabs Dr. Martin Luther King in the chest, very, very, very close to killing him, and he's less than 7 inches, probably about what I'm packing, away from killing him. And so, I mean, this is a guy who, and now this lady was an African American, so not every person of color.
No. He was not wholly beloved. He was actually.
Beloved.
He actually had a lot of unrest in the black community as well.
So is there a possibility that he was
Niggas was haters.
that he was killed by somebody that was
Within
just
the own community.
in his own community? Absolutely, it was.
Well,
because
the three leading potentials are James Earl Ray, and he's just gone fucking nuts. James Earl Ray was set up by his partner, the mafia, with the restaurant across the street,
When it comes down to anybody doing anything that's affecting any type of fluctuation of that currency towards the government, you are going to get taken out. That's just what it is.
And then the FBI.
Kennedy got done basically the same way MLK got done. It's all a trend. It's anytime you go against the grain
Yeah,
comes
like
shooting.
motherfuckers with the water cars. You hear about some of that shit? Guys be inventing cars that run on water and disappear the next week.
You ain't hear about the new conspiracy with Kobe?
No, I didn't hear that.
Please,
Stop,
elaborate.
Judge, please.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
So supposedly he was taking 3 pharmaceutical companies to court the week before he died. So I don't
For
know
what?
what the conspiracy is with the whole situation of that, with the whole you just died a week before you about to go sue 3 companies that's worth over $1 billion each. You causing a problem. They're gonna make sure they solve the problem. So you know, even when the Bill Cosby situation, that's kind of crazy. But think about it. He was on the rise of buying NBC.
Wait, was he really?
And because of the fact that
Was he really?
Yes, he was.
Holy
And that's
shit.
the reason why they brought up the scenarios of him putting the Molly in the pudding and the pop in the 50 years ago. They don't want certain people to take over certain things. That's just
With the pudding.
I believe it.
pudding.
I flat out think that documentary, the Leaving Neverland one that came out a few years ago,
Michael Jackson.
yeah, that one's full of bullshit.
Michael Jackson, his situation is him buying Sony. When he bought Sony, he bought
Well-
a lot of things that he wasn't supposed to be a part of, and they had to take him out.
Well,
Period.
Well, I mean, he did also have a lot of claims against him for diddling kids.
Yes, that's a part of it, but think about the whole fact of Harvey Weinstein and all these guys that's getting caught out here with it now. Michael Jackson was with them doing the same thing they're doing.
So you saying he's a pioneer? He was ahead of his time in diddling kids?
No, that was about the same time.
That was about the same time they all were doing it. Chris Tucker, the whole Alec Baldwin, the whole list. That's
Dude,
everything
you know how
coming
many
out now.
fucking rock stars.
Michael Jackson was just one of them.
Yeah, but I mean, who could resist Macaulay Culkin?
Michael's the only one one of the only few that can't defend himself.
Yeah. But,
I mean, Michael had enough money. He could have defended himself.
I mean, like now because he's dead.
Had enough money.
Yeah, well, that's what got him in trouble, because if what Winston was saying, he bought Sony, he bought all
Op
these
Judge?
things.
did the whole fucking South Park episode about that shit.
Blanky, no. No, Blanky. But-
yeah, no, dude, fucking
Turns out, if you
It turns out that the U.S. government is definitely got its hands in some shady ass shit.
Yes, sir.
fucking shit.
MLK got Tupac and Biggie and Kennedy.
Wait, you think they got Tupac and Biggie?
I thought Tupac was Suge Knight.
No, fucking Tupac was
Or is
killed
that
by
Biggie?
Biggie. No, by Puff Daddy.
The whole conspiracy of behind the music industry, that's a whole nother ballgame.
Because now didn't Puff Daddy, now he has a bunch of allegations about him having fucking being a rapist too?
Yep. And he was part of the Michael Jackson crew.
Was he? Huh. Didn't know that part.
That is an interesting thing that he was part of the MJ crew.
Think about it. Biggie died when? Puffy died when? Michael
Puffy's
Jackson.
still alive, no?
Yeah,
I mean, Tupac and Biggie died when? 96 and 97.
Yeah.
Around the same time when Michael Jackson got caught up in his allegations.
I thought Michael Jackson's allegations were in the early 2000s.
It was
No,
around-
they
it was
started
around-
in the 90s.
It started in the
Oh, I
90s.
think,
started
yeah,
in
the
the 90s.
allegations started in the 90s. It was the actual trial, I think, was the early 2000s. That's right. Because he had the whole big trial.
The only thing they didn't have was Harvey's book. Now they got it.
Yeah.
They seen the whole past 40 years of pedophilia and whatever else.
Good old Epstein's flight logs. But that's for another story.
Yes.
This
We'll
is
get
about
there
MLK
eventually.
MLK.
and how he was murdered by the fucking FBI, J. Edgar Hoover.
Murder.
No,
Right,
probably.
allegedly. So technically,
we have to say allegedly because they never fucking.
they were taken to court in the early 2000s about this. They had a whole ass court case, and they were found guilty.
Wait, so they
They were never found like they were never
it
able.
was a civil court case, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
so they
well,
were
it was
never
O.J.
able.
Simpson case.
Yeah, we had the same talk about this. In a civil case, it's a completely different animal. Completely different animal.
But they were still
You're
found
still-
guilty of being associated with his murder.
But you're talking about something that are like they're not. It's apples to oranges because when
J.
you're in a
Edgar
ci-
Hoover
when you're in a
specifically
ci-
wrote
but when you're-
MLK a letter saying
But,
that
alright.
I will expose you, you should kill yourself, you should do this, you should stop being part of this, because he was so afraid of the effect of what would happen to the political spectrum of
but
America.
These are allegations. I don't think that they're not true, but I'm just saying that they're still just allegations. Now, like, all right. Like
How much weight do they hold?
back to the exactly what Dee just brought up. O.J. Simpson was found not guilty of killing Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Gold, right? That's criminally, yes. Criminally, there was no criminal
Well,
evidence.
who do you sue for the FBI? I sue you, FBI, criminally.
It's no, because
You
No,
can't
it's not
just-
criminally, it would be civilly.
But that's what I mean, like-
because when you're going after when you're going after somebody civilly, you're going after punitive damages. You want money, right? So you can't. So you just have to name somebody as the person that's going to pay you. It just so happened to be the FBI because the FBI's got the deepest pockets of them all. They could have just picked the U.S. government in general, but they needed to pick one single entity to fucking sue to get money from.
But what I mean is, in a criminal case, who do you even sue if you're going against the FBI?
But it's
do you
not
go
a criminal
against J.
case.
Edgar Hoover?
You don't sue people in criminal
J. Edgar
cases.
Hoover's long dead
But
by then.
that's what I mean. Like, do you go against J. Edgar Hoover? Do you go against the guy who allegedly shot him? Because they don't have the name of the person from the FBI
can sue
who
him.
allegedly shot him.
You got to sue the whole bureau.
That's what I
could
mean.
Sue the organization.
You
and
sue
it
the
does-
organization as a whole.
Yeah, but I mean,
Because-
as we were
so if
talking
I-
about with the Area 51,
But if I-
what
so-
ended up happening with that is that the EPA ends up just being like, yeah, we can't release these documents. They just classified this shit.
Most likely,
But
once you
that's
even
what happens
start,
when you deal with the government.
most likely once you even start the suit, you're getting paid off and it's going under the books.
Yeah, 100%. Most likely the government is going to pay you off before.
particularly-
So then why
We're
were
gonna
they
try and settle
found
this.
guilty? Not
Because
settled,
some-
they were found guilty.
In this instance, yes, but they were found guilty because they needed to pay, like, because they had the evidence that didn't have to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. You do realize the difference between proving
Yes.
guilt and innocent in a civil and in a criminal case, right?
Yes, but in a criminal case, you are required to have somebody of actual note to sue. You can't just sue
But in a
the
criminal
organization
case, you're not
FBI.
Really, but when you're
you
criminally,
can.
but when you're criminally charging somebody in a criminal case, you're not technically suing them. When you sue somebody, you're in a civil case.
Just remember, guys.
There are different courts.
Just remember.
It's a different judicial system.
Just remember, guys.
When
When you're white, you're innocent till proven guilty. When you're black, you're guilty till proven innocent.
you're black, you're just shot in the street before anything else can happen. Right?
You that part too. But yeah, usually that goes in the stipulations of how the court cases usually get ruled.
Which, I mean, I don't even want to get into that whole aspect of the whole thing because
That's
there's a whole other complete other fucking system involved in that shit. But yeah. So the family of MLK could 100% sue the United States government. They can sue the FBI, the CIA. They can sue whoever. They're not suing J. Edgar Hoover. That's like me
he's
saying,
dead.
Well,
Obviously,
obviously he's dead. But even if he was alive,
you can sue the FBI as
you
an
would
organization.
yes,
it's
you
possible.
would sue the FBI as an organization.
That's what they had to do.
You could also
Yeah.
then remove
So why are you having a
J.
trial?
Edgar Hoover as an extra person involved, and then sue him and go after him as well. But you can keep it together. That's why when people sue, like say somebody falls in front of my store, they can sue the town, and then they can separate it, and then they can sue me as well.
But what I'm
And
saying
then they
is,
can go after both of us. They're probably not going to want to go after. They might go after me, but they're going to get more money from the town.
but what I'm getting at is, how do you have a criminal case against the FBI? Who do you try and go against?
So then
Because
it would be
that's-
the head of the FBI would
well,
be
you
the
can't.
one that would.
I mean, obviously, a criminal case against the FBI.
As opposed to just a civil suit.
In the civil one, you're going against the actual entity itself, the
Yeah.
FBI.
But in the criminal case, you have to have somebody associated with it.
In
You
that
can't
case,
just
it would have been either
FBI.
It
In
would
that
probably
case,
be-
would have either like J. Edgar Hoover, whoever
or
was
whoever they
his-
found.
Who
to-
was dead by then.
Yeah, but
so
I
then
meant
it would
like
be
whoever was
the
in charge.
one that was found to have the connection to it would have been the one that I guess would have
Like
been.
the guy who literally gave the other guy the money to shoot him would have been the guy that you'd be looking for criminally to do it.
Yeah.
In this case, but I mean, in that case, it'd be like the thing is though is you're not going to be able to get the FBI criminally. However, if you were to prove that the
That's what I'm
FBI was
saying.
involved, but if you were to say prove that the FBI was involved in said criminal actions through a person that they were associated with, that's
can
what you
sue.
want because that would cause the FBI. Because that will
That
cause
would
internal
cause that-
problems within the FBI.
But that was
You
also
disrupt
So
the
long as
system.
so long as they actually like take account into it, because
But that would trigger the civil suit, though. What he
that's
said.
that's what I'm getting at. Like you can't just have a criminal case against the FBI. Who do you even go
You can have
against?
people, but you can have a
It's
criminal case
people
against
within
people
it.
within the FBI.
People within
So
it,
long as
like
they're
he
still
said.
alive.
But
J.
Yes.
Edgar Hoover couldn't represent himself.
Yes, I'm not saying at this point. At that point in time, it'd be pointless.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
try-
In the early 2000s, when they had the case against him, all they really had as an option was the civil case.
yeah,
Yes.
because all it was about was getting money. It wasn't about putting somebody in jail. It was about
They were
have
trying to.
It wasn't even. About
How do you
getting
know that it
money,
was about?
trying to prove the fact that they the fact
It was,
that the
how do I know
FBI
it was about getting
was
money? Because they had a civil case. All you do
It
for a
doesn't-
civil case is to get money.
But that doesn't
So you
mean it's
can
necessarily
sue.
about the money. It's just like the Nicole Brown Robbie Simpson thing. It was never about the money for them. It was about proving the point, the fact that the fuckers were guilty.
Yeah, but you don't
It's
understand.
their fault.
But you're not understanding. So anybody.
That's the
any-
court of public opinions, my dude.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So the court of public opinion or the court of uneducated will
And
see
sometimes
that
the court of the public opinion is more important than the regular criminal court.
possibly, but it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, he doesn't have a criminal record. And yeah, you might see somebody as that, but it doesn't mean they're actually that. Just like somebody
So-
who's so here's the
So
thing.
basically,
Like,
what I think
if
you're trying to say
if
is you want somebody to blame for this criminally, and you want somebody to be in jail. When the problem is that people going to jail for this wouldn't necessarily be the actual thing that would be the solution here. The real
They-
solution would be
They just wanted to
causing,
prove
like,
that the FBI was involved.
Yes,
the real
but-
solution would be basically having the FBI reshuffled in some way. That this.
But
shit
if
that,
you go
know,
to court and they say in a criminal court that they're not, there's no proof that
because
they
there
were
was
found
never
guilty.
a criminal case
So that's
against
like-
the FBI to begin with, because they were going against the guy who
But he's saying-
assassinated
but-
him.
But Jackson saying
You
that
don't
they
need
took,
a criminal case to have a civil case. You don't.
No.
You don't. It's just some people do that so this
Yeah.
way they could get monetary kickback for
Exactly.
whatever the crime was against them. However,
But
that
you
being
seem to
said-
be implying that all they did it for was for money. But
Which-
if they
at the
wanted
end
to,
of the
if they wanted
day,
to just do it for
you-
money, they would have
look,
settled.
no.
Besides that, they have
At the
like
end of the day, if you're
publicist
going to
deals
s-
and shit. Like they could get money other ways just by
Yes.
being.
But at the end of the day,
associated
if
with
you're
him.
taking them to court civilly and suing them for money, it's about the fucking money. You could pay
Everything's
them-
about fucking money.
They
Yeah,
could've-
so
hold
why
on,
are you
hold on.
fighting
Human
me?
condition.
At the
Hold
end
on,
of the day,
hold on,
Yes,
hold
but
on.
the
when-
problem is
and
it's,
it-
in
so
this
look,
case it isn't
look,
necessary.
'cause here's
the
how it
money's
could've
just a
gone.
bonus. The money
Obviously,
is
it's
always,
Hold on.
always
just
a bonus.
Hold on.
But
No,
you're
the
saying, so
real
what
thing
you're
is
Hold
what
on.
they wanted was to
What
prove
if-
that the FBI was involved in it to begin with.
Yes, but by
That's
just
what it is.
yes, but you're not understanding. So you take them to criminal court. They say
You
that they're not.
can't.
But he's saying that they did.
No, I never said that they did.
They never did.
I was saying, who do they take to criminal court? They can't. That's what I was
nobody
saying.
you could hypothetically in this situation. There's not really one single person you can take to criminal court for this, outside of maybe pulling some RICO bullshit. But this isn't technically an organized crime thing.
No.
So your only option is to basically just rub shit in the face of the person instead of sending him to jail by saying, "Hey, you fuckers were actually involved in this. You guys did this, and hey, give me some fucking money for it." Because I mean,
That's all they can really do. They can't
Yeah,
force
at this
us
point, it's
into
basically
giving
just-
us a name.
But you're still not like just because you won a civil case in the court of public opinion. Because at the end of the day, they won the civil case. But guess what? Most people do not think that the FBI was involved. Most people don't.
most people do.
A lot of
people do.
A lot of people do, but there's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people that don't even care about it or don't even like aren't even connecting it.
I mean, it sounds like what you're implying is that the King family did this solely for the money, which is
No. So I'm not saying solely for the money, but there are other ways to get the point out without having to go through court. I don't even know if what they
Like
did
a
with
book?
the money. I mean, they
Like,
probably did.
What's
write
the
a
other
book.
option?
documentaries, write a book, go online and fucking.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, they would need money to.
Yeah, but
unfortunately, they would need money to fund a money to fund a movie.
I'm sure there's plenty of money that they have, but
Potentially.
okay,
usually for the most part, when you take somebody to court and you're suing them, it's because you think the money will make you whole for what that person took away from you.
I mean,
Your health,
yes and no.
your fucking whatever.
So long as you actually can sue said person.
But then,
I mean,
but if it's not the point, then what is said point?
To be able to.
Because at the end of the
be
day,
able to prove
again,
that
like-
there's to show that there's a connection between
the
his
FBI
death.
and his death.
It's
It's not like they can take him to a criminal case.
But again, so now on the end, like just playing devil's advocate on this whole thing, just to play devil's advocate, right? So now, if most people that understand the judicial system realize that civil court is a completely separate entity from criminal court, and you were exactly proven that in the OJ trial, right? So you jump from the OJ trial where he was not guilty in the criminal case, but guilty in the civil case, and he has to pay money that he didn't really even have, blah, 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 blah. That's a different story. So now you jump forward, and the estate of MLK sues civilly because they can't sue criminally because they're not going to win, one, and two,
I don't know if it's they can't win as much as
because they're not going to win.
Well, I mean, realistically, who do you sue in that case? Do you sue the guy who's... Because all they were trying to find was a connection between the FBI and his assassination.
In that instance, you would probably go all the way to the top, and you would probably sue the United States government.
But who? Like the DOD, the FBI, the CIA? Who do you sue?
Again, this is you have to
It
technically
would
put a
probably
name to it.
It might. I don't know I don't know what it would trigger. Maybe it triggers amendments, or maybe it triggers.
Fuck it. Let's sue Obama. Like, that's what you're...
Okay. You guys done proved your case. But guess what? The Henny said he don't give a fuck. So can y'all please go ahead and walk on that chain line, that choke line that's right there by that door? Go ahead and do that, please. Because I have to go. My baby mama is making asparagus and mashed potatoes, and my side piece making fried chicken. Don't you love it when families come together?
Hold on real quick. U.S. citizens have the right to sue both the state and federal government. This means they can sue it, but can they take it to criminal court?
Happy Black History Month. These guys may be a handful, but so is this cop. Let's get it out of here. Oh, thank you kindly.
All right, so walk the line. Bye. I guess. No, he said walk the line.
Walk the line.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow.